All right, what's going on, guys? We are back, and we are back at a very special time. This went exactly according to Discord notification, exactly to plan, where we get to react to
Game
Game
5
Five. So this will
with
be fun
Seattle and
with
SLC.
somebody there, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. Um, Today is also a very, very, very special episode um, for our special guest. I'm gonna tease you guys a little bit. Wait, it's gonna be in the title. It's gonna have to be in the title. But we have
Mm.
the commissioner, Mark, DC Eagles. We finally got him on. We finally
Welcome.
got him on.
And for
Welcome.
a great episode, too.
Yes, dude, I am so excited to break it down. How are you doing?
Oh, good. Yeah.
He's doing good without a computer. Getting a new computer.
Yeah, what happened to your computer?
The SSD pretty much exploded.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
was this like? Did you work on this computer as well? I'm assuming no.
No.
Oh, okay. But hey, dude, honestly, if I had like a million different OOTPs been running on my computer, and dude, OOTP is all of my storage now. Like all of it is just draft classes. I swear to God, it takes up my whole
And these
fucking
recordings,
computer.
probably.
Yeah, these recordings, fuck it too. But dude, why is your game? Why are the games so
I
odd?
don't know.
Why are we watching the top?
So
of the
these are
ninth
both
here?
game fives. We got Detroit and Indy.
No, dude, this is huge. Tied top 9.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
M-
This is pretty
Monahan.
cool.
Oh, Holsopple is pitching, too.
Yeah, so Mark, we have some news, and then also we want to get into your team this year as well. Oh God, oh V,
Oh,
no,
Lord.
3-0 off rip. Wow, Detroit, good job, Detroit. He came back. He came back.
Wow.
He came back. Um, so yeah, news and yeah. How's your team this year? You got your what 11th straight PL title, ninth.
Uh I think this is the first one in I think Bob's won two of the last three or four.
Oh really?
Yeah. He had
Oh
a stretch in there for a bit.
okay. But you had at one point like
Okay.
7.
Okay. Come
Oh,
on, one out.
Seattle's coming back.
Frank Price.
Shit, I could bring this up. We got Greg's document. But anyways, I'll let you take the floor.
All right. So for quite a few reasons, the main one just being the past years pretty much made this whole league feel like a job instead of being fun. I'm going to be stepping away from the commissioner duties and from the league in general.
We've been muted. I've muted myself this whole time, but everyone's heard your shit.
No.
I gotta start. I gotta start from where I started talking after you said.
That's tough.
Oh yeah, I feel like the population in the league has grown, and it's also been growing in quality too. And there are a shit ton of people who like want to make this game better and want to make the CBA better, and like it's a whole bunch of rule changes, and that's fallen on your shoulders a lot because I mean, yeah, you are condition like being the commissioner, you got to make those tough decisions too, and then now it's like raising to a point where there are like there's a discussion in winter meetings, or it's not even the winter, but there's a discussion about all this shit all the time, like every single anything happens. I feel like it's like once a week. I'm sure that is a shit ton. But
It's yeah, it's. I mean, I'd rather those discussions happen than not,
mhm.
because I mean, back when earlier I was making everything, all the decisions, doing awards and Hall of Fame and all that, and it's been good to see all that get split out, and so that it's not just all falling on one person right now.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the past, I don't know, few months, even more than a few months, it seems like there's kind of been that transition period, and I feel like this is of course a surprise, but um, it's it's been, I feel like, a long time coming because you've brought on Adam. Bob's had a role in simming duties and everything, which has all been normal, but it seems like there have been a lot of things to put in place to make it so the league can exist without you. And I remember at the start, like you were everything, and you still kind of are, like over the past 3 weeks too. But it's been good to see that transition. How long have you been like, it'll probably be in the next few months or so?
When did I? Because I remember, what was the year where we did the first President's Cup?
Ooh,
Like 4 seasons ago now.
yeah,
Probably?
4 or 5.
76, 77.
Oh, it's for the okay.
Yeah.
I just remember because what happened there was I tried to make it an actual tournament in game, and for whatever reason, the game would not couldn't have the playoffs and that extra tournament running at the same time. So um, basically, it caused the game to crash at the end of every day.
That's crazy.
Somehow managed to get through that year, and I finished that, and I'm like, I can't keep doing this at this rate. So, I mean, it's had to have been for at least a year at this point, thinking like that.
Yeah, I remember hating to your comments in general, saying that you're probably gonna leave at blank date or like blank month. I was like,
Like
no,
after this
no,
season.
you can't do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it was. You're like, yeah. It was like, oh, I'm retiring. Nope. No, I'm retiring. Nope. 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 But I'm glad you stayed on for that long after. I feel like it's been helpful, like your perspective on like this is just a game to have fun, and I feel like we've kind of kept that with rules and stuff, even though it's getting a hell of a lot more intricate. Um, so damn, so that was, and Adam came on. Did Adam come on as like a helper around that time too?
I think so.
Yeah, because that was around the time
'Cause
where we saw him, where we met him.
Oh, that
IRL.
was like a year ago at this point.
I don't remember when we did the split on Thursdays, but I think that was when that all started.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He had the training wheels. Yeah, that's crazy. Um, okay, so like you've been commissioner since Dustin, I'm assuming. Was that before you?
Yeah, yeah.
And before Dustin, was that dun 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 Kyle?
That was the Jordan and Kyle duo before him.
Okay. Wow, so there've been 3. And you've been around since 1.0. You are the lasting member that stayed the whole entire time, right?
It's been me, Bob, and Joey. That's the 3.
Okay, Bob and Joey too. Dude, we need to make like CBA trivia or some shit. Send it out.
Yeah.
Like give everyone like a history card or some shit.
Throw it randomly in the podcast and see if anybody responds in general.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, we should do that. So walk me through how you got into the league. Like, did you? Who was telling us that they were like basically a co-creator? Oh, Ryan. Was it Ryan?
Wow, Ryan. I feel bad for Ryan, man. He won the series and the game crashed out on him.
Oh, he did.
And he lost the next 3 games to Detroit.
Wow.
And he won game 3 and had to reset. I remember this happened to me like in '79, I think. Like game 1 happened and I beat Carolina, and then we had to like resubmit and I lost in 4 or something like that.
That was that was the tournament year.
Yeah.
Was that also when you beat me, Mark? And then we had to redo the sim. Was that what it was?
No, so you beat Farbo the first game, and then I kept trying to resim it to get the same results, and I think I beat you like the next 8 in a row.
That's crazy.
And then we go game 5, and you beat him again, and it's just like, all right, I can't make that up at this point. Just it is what it is.
Yeah.
That is so wild. That is so wild.
There was that time, it seemed like, for like 6 to 7 years, like you had like a big spree where like you were the 1 seed and you always lost the BL2 for some reason, like every single year.
Yeah, that's why. So when I first did the new format for the President's Tournament, I made it 3-3-5 instead of 5-5-7 because I think I posted the math in there. If you do the 3-3-5, the top seed advances to the finals once every other year.
Mm-hmm.
And in theory, in the 5-5-7, the top seed should advance 2 out of every 3 years.
Wow.
Except for the 6 years in a row where I'm losing the first round.
Yeah. Dude,
So just the idea of having a larger season, that separates out the teams in terms of quality. But when you get to 3 and 5 game series, it's just hope the ball bounces your way once or twice, and hope you set the odds off enough to offset for that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so going on to your team, would love to talk about, I kind of want to start off with the current DC Eagles because like we just have to be selfish and soak up all of this beautiful knowledge that you've accrued from playing this game since the fucking beginning. Actually, I had one more question. How did you? I wanted to get to how did you get into the league? And like, who did you meet?
Sophomore year of high school, I'm sitting in chemistry class, and it's one of those teachers where they'll say something, they'll just talk like this for the entire class, and you eventually have to figure out what's important, and maybe or not you will actually hear anything, but he says something important, but you'll have to have listened before to figure out what it was. That was the type of teacher I had, so I was just sitting playing OTP in class and stumbled upon, I think, the first Reddit post on it.
Wow.
Called up, hit Jordan up, said, "Hey, you got DC still left?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I'll take that." And we were off from there.
Damn, sophomore year of high school.
Dude, I wish I had OTP in high school.
I wish I had OTP in Dude, I would have failed out of high school, dude. If I was on OTP this whole... Oh my god. Imagine how many hours. How many fucking hours, dude. We would be... Damn, okay. So, and you are... How old are you now?
I graduated college almost 2 years ago.
Damn. Wow, so like we're like close to
Yeah,
the
we're
same
very-
age. I'm 21, or
You're
I'm not.
23.
I'm turning 24 this year. Damn,
Yeah, I'm
graduating.
24 tomorrow. So,
You say tomorrow?
no, just 24 right now.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my god, birthday. Dude, this is being so weird. I don't know why.
Is it not working again?
Like, yeah, it's just like it's not picking up his audio, but it is through our speaker, so like it'll be fine. We'll just run it like this. All right, dude, Tony Marin. We always touch on
Can
Tony.
we stay here for a sec? Can we stay here for a sec? I
Yeah.
got a question. So, Mark, like, obviously you're really good at the game. And like, as I've been,
I'm kidding.
He's not that good.
He's the goat.
as I've been like getting more familiar and stuff. I mean, this is a pretty general question, but like a guy like Tony Marin's a great example. Could you walk me through, like, first of all, whenever you saw him in the international free agent pool, like what screamed like this is my guy? Because you know, if you scout all of them, you still could miss out because a lot of times potentials, you know, can come down and stuff. And also a follow up to that is like while they're developing. Like, I don't know, you don't have to spill everything, but as far as like
No,
dev
spill
lab,
everything.
like dev lab things you do with
Yeah.
your international free agents, like what specific things whenever you get a new scouting report on them, what are like your main things that you look at and things that you care about?
So, I'll hit the first point on the amateur free agents. The game generates players in certain patterns. So once you know what patterns they generate and you can look for in the initial scouting reports, you can sort of figure out how good that player is. So, and these are also really easy to repeat because all you have to do is set the date up, sim forward. This is in a single player game. Set the day up, sim forward, generate the free agents. You can go through, look at the players' ratings in the editor, figure out what type of archetype the players are, what type of ratings they have, and then close out the game. And all you gotta do is resim one day, and you have a whole new list of players to look at. So eventually, you just look at enough of them that you can just look at a scout, the initial report on them, and say, okay, I know this player's ratings are laid out in this type of fashion. I see it has certain other characteristics that tell me whether this player is good or not, how good the player is. And eventually it just got to the point where I've seen enough of them I could tell you the slash line within like plus or minus 10 points on everything, just because the game doesn't generate them randomly.
Huh.
So
Wow.
that's
I would
the
have thought they did.
idea on how to spot them, among a few other things. Just because. So, I guess I'll back up for this.
Yeah.
I do software development, and I work on systems that are similar in nature to how this game's laid out, in that you know, you got a database in the back, and all you have is a string of numbers to work with, and the game has to build all the information you get off of that set of numbers. So if you sort of understand the concessions they have to make from a developer standpoint to make the game function as it needs to, you can pick up on these little extra things that will also give you hints on how good the player actually is and whether or not, you know, your scout's lying to you.
Wow.
Okay, so we were just off for a second, technical difficulties, but we were just talking about Mike Rumpf and how he's on the Hall of Fame ballot, and then how he's like randomly, quote unquote, got an 80 out of 80 third pitch from being a reliever, and Mark chimed in. I'll let it go.
Yeah, it's not random. There was a way you could tell whether when a pitcher was going to get the 80-80 changeup.
Ooh.
Dude, he's still gross.
He's still gross.
Dude, he's 42, throwing 99 to 101.
So, are you comfortable enough to share why? Like,
Yeah, I'll share this because it doesn't work anymore.
oh.
So back in 21, 22, which I think is when he got the change up. If actually go back to the ratings because that'll demonstrate it better.
Uh-huh.
So when he came out, he had probably like a 75 or an 80 potential fastball, 75 or 80 slider, and a 20-30 change. So it wasn't 100% work, but if a player had an 80 grade fastball and a 75 or 80 grade either curveball or slider, I don't know the exact percentage, but those pitchers would develop those 80-80 changeups randomly.
Wow.
So I would load up on those guys, and eventually enough of them would hit the number.
Huh. Okay, so
And
so
I guess if you go back, you look at Blaine Zajac was a guy who got it, and when he came out, he was a 80 fastball, 80 curveball, 20 change, and he got the changeup boost.
Wow.
Kyle Connor was another one
Oh, I like
who
Kyle
got
Connor.
a changeup boost later on.
But he already looked really good.
Kyle Connor is also tearing it up for the Winnipeg Jets right now. Hey, Steelhead.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if he's still got. Oh,
So he was the guy who was picked second overall
Yeah.
behind McLean, and when I saw the changeup, that was sort of the moment when it clicked, because then I realized I thought I'd made a mistake picking McLean over Connor.
huh.
But Connor got like a Tommy John at 24 and pretty much died after that.
Oh.
I got rid of him though.
Yeah.
And the other guy was Bill Barnard, who is still pitching.
Do I have Bill Barnard?
Oh
do
my
both.
god.
He was the guy who
Slider changeup.
was sort of the test on whether or not it actually worked, because he had there was the one way, which was the 80-80-20, and there was another way, which was if the pitcher had two 75s and the changeup went from 20 to 40, it was going to keep developing up to a 70 or 75.
Did that happen?
So
with...
I saw
Who did that?
I saw he had that changeup, that little changeup boost. So I remember I traded a first and I think Juan Salazar, who was a shortstop who just came off like a 5.5 WAR season.
Wow.
And I traded both of them to pick up Barnard, and that was sort of the leap of faith that it actually worked. And he did finish developing out that changeup. So that was the moment where it's like, okay, this actually works.
Damn.
So you don't have to go into specifics, but is there anything that is in this engine that is sort of similar, like when you were drafting, or like whenever you target a guy like Cancine, is there stuff similar to that kind of like something different? And you don't have to say specifics, but are you still paying attention to things like that in this engine?
You'd be surprised how much of the stuff that actually tells you how good a player is just sort of dismissed as useless.
Okay.
Ooh.
And a lot of that's just because I sort of understand how they have to use actual ratings to make certain features of the game work.
Oh, okay. So this guy, what? So obviously he's gross, but you were like, what makes him like stand out more than like the rest of the international amateurs, or like any one of these guys? Like, can you pick someone that you're like, this is a good example of something that I'm talking about?
Um, not without
XGB.
really giving it away.
Ah. But okay, so like I mean, you've listened to some of the podcasts. Like we kind of go off like okay, ground ball, fly ball tendency. We love the extreme ground balls. Everyone kind of knows that, but it's one of those like intricate pieces of the game, like the personality class, the like high intelligence or high work rate or high adaptability to like change positions. Um, like we like to see like if somebody's lacking in control, we like to see more pitches. Like are these things that come into your mind as well? Like some of these intricate things.
When doing amateurs, not really.
Okay.
Because it can change.
There's something else. There's something else that tells you how good the player actually is. But you have to really piece together why it's that way,
Hmm.
and that I
Okay.
think that's the difference.
It's the OSA scouting reports. It's the nickname. Is it the
Mhm.
nickname? I feel like you always have some like guys with crazy nicknames, and I've gone off of that too. Like of course Tony Marin's gonna be good. His name is Mr. Magnificent. You know what I mean? Like those are the things that I've been trying to like. Oh, this is so. Oh, he knows everything. That's crazy.
Grimy Tickles hit like 3 home runs on me.
Yeah, grimy tickles. Like if you have a good name like that,
Like,
I guess it's
obviously
just
he was
like
gonna be
duh. And I guess your team construction's always kind of been similar to like I feel like you've always had like always the deepest hitting. Um, your shortstop defense has never I've it's never been like wow it's insane, but you always have like manageable defense everywhere. Um, you picked up Gilmore from me, and I knew he was going to be a steal. Um, just nobody wanted to pay him what the 4.7 WAR that he got this year. Um, but how did you like? How did you stumble on this team construction, and how long have you been with that same mentality? I guess.
So, I mean, I've always had this mentality since probably since the start of 2.0. I think the reason for that is at the end of the first file, I sort of did a half-hearted rebuild and it didn't work out, and I sort of realized like you can't do a halfway rebuild. If you're gonna do that, you want to end up on the top of the league, you have to go all the way in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think this is sort of the main difference I've noticed between me and Bob and why both of us are able to stay up always is when Bob is doing his team construction, he's always looking at one or this year or next year. Very rarely is he actually looking for 3, 4, 5 years down the line
Mm-hmm.
when he's
Mhm.
making moves. And because he always focuses on that, he never actually has to worry about 3, 4, 5 years down the line. So he can keep winning and keep turning over players and free agents and all that. Whereas everything I'm doing is trying to win 6, 7, 8 years down the line. And that's from just picks into prospects to the free agents you sign to the extensions that you're signing. Everything is designed for not winning now, but for winning 5 years down the line.
Hmm.
And because both of us have this different philosophy, we're never stepping on each other when we make moves. So that's why we're both able to sort of work in our own spaces, but be really good at the same time together.
Interesting. Interesting, because like you accrue a lot of talent through IAFA. You have a lot through the draft. Um, you are strategic with your free agent signings if you make them. I feel like you only sign pitchers, um, which is like
I mean, I'll sign anybody. It's just the money's the bigger issue in whether I sign somebody or not.
Who's Justin Stacy?
so like you have to make sure you have to make sure that it's like an insane talent to give out the money.
So I go in every year with a target payroll number. So that number for me is about 90 million.
Wow.
Interesting.
Because if I do the numbers up, if you add the player payroll, the development budget, the staff budget, scouting budget, IFAs, take all those expenses, compare that with the income, those will always balance out if your payroll's at 90 million for me.
Interesting. So you
I keep the 50 million from the cash cap, and every year I stay within 5 million of that budget I set for myself before the year. So for Castro, I think I only had 30 million in player salaries that year. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, I have to spend $70 million or else I'm just going to lose it.
yeah.
So Castro was the guy that came out, and he's the guy that got the 70 million.
Damn. I think Bob was also trying to go for Castro, right? Speed limit. Luis Speed Limit Castro.
Wow, that's sick. It's a for a
Fire
pitcher,
name.
that's sick.
Again, that's what fits his philosophy, you know? Just get the best guy for a year or two and figure out what to do after that.
Yeah. But I guess it helps when you offer what was the contract? Like it was 2 years at 70 mil and then the rest at 27?
60, 27, the rest.
Sorry, what was the first two?
75, 60.
Okay. Damn. So I guess SLC kind of did that to the Max Auto back in the day. What he do? Pedro Alvarez he signed for like 96 mil, or like Dave Rankin.
Yeah, Rankin got 93 one year.
Yeah. That was the exact same idea behind it, except he went a bit over on the money.
A little bit.
I think
Just he went over your whole ass player budget that you set for yourself for a year. That's crazy.
he only had guys on the minimum that year, so I'm like, I understand why you do that.
Damn. So
Because you did it with Yamamoto
Yeah.
as well.
Okay. Oh yeah.
That is the only 2 times that's actually happened. So I think if it hits a certain dollar limit, the game will just automatically sign them.
Damn. Okay, so these are the guys that they need the bag off rip, send it back to their families in Mexico and Colombia and the Netherlands and shit. So they just that kind of makes sense though, because like they need to get signed. They're coming over. Like I feel like most guys when they come over, they don't even get into a bidding war. It's just like a team already has them locked up, and that's how they come over anyways. So I guess that makes sense with how the game is constructed and how real life is too. Who else we got?
Because Yamamoto was it was just so strange seeing him sign after the first sim, and I sort of worked back from that there.
Huh.
Especially after Castro signed, I'm like, oh, that's probably why.
Wow.
Dude, we gotta start thinking like Mark, man.
Dude, we just gotta.
It's all pattern recognition.
Dude, that's why we have a roommate Nick. He's a techie guy. He codes for fun sometimes, and we're always like, Nick, you would be insane at this game. Like if you figure it out to a software engineer level of expertise, then it's just like easy. Did Jimmy Nash looks
insane?
Oh my god, dude, your team.
He was straight random. I don't know how that happened. He could not have been. Pat Rhodes should have been the guy that looked like this. Nash should not have been the one.
How much of it also do
Yeah.
you attribute to having really good personnel?
So my guess is when they do the calculations for whether or not your player develops or regresses, there's some random number that gets put into it at the start, and the rest of it is just multiplied off of things like your development budget and your coaches and their morale and all those factors. So I think it plays a part, but to the effect of which I still don't know how
Uh-huh.
much the numbers multiply by that.
Huh. But okay, so this is the way we need to think.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just need to approach the game in a what the fuck is a sabermetric type personality? What the fuck?
Why is the GM 109 years old?
Damn. James Austin's on that gas. Well, he signed through. He's just trying to make the money. He signed through
How do you even do that?
2184.
2184.
Bro, that's crazy. James Austin's gonna go down as the craziest of all time.
He's gonna be 218 by the time his contract ends.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but every facet of the game you kind of have to approach it. I guess I'm assuming we've already figured out the finances. Like you got a self budget. I'm assuming you have 27 for your player dev and your scouting.
I took scouting down to 4.5 just because, I mean, I looked at enough people. I trust myself more than the extra money.
Damn. Wow.
Damn.
So,
Wow.
Can you talk about so like another set of randomness in the game is the development lab, and that's something that like I'm still trying to figure out. But just because it seems like it's, I mean, I'm sure there are factors that benefit one way or the other. But I guess as like another randomness tool, how do you look at the development budget? And like since it's kind of a newer thing, are you still trying to learn it, or do you think that you have a good sort of prediction on how a player does?
I still have no clue how that works.
Okay.
Um,
Neither do I.
Doesn't seem like
There's
anyone does.
some. I think 26 fleshes this out more. I haven't played with it, but it looks like they give you a number or some sort of sliding bar. And I think this is how it worked in 25 as well. And then they gave this the sliding bar, which sort of was like, okay, I had it right. But every day or every week or something, it pulls a random number, it multiplies it out by sort of like the same process as how the game determines the development, and adds or subtracts that to a running tally for the dev lab. And I think if the game says if it hits a certain threshold, then we consider it successful. If it hits another set a number higher than that, we consider it an outstanding, and so on.
Wow.
And it's so weird because they have these like number thresholds and stuff, but like I had somebody who was like outstanding, I think, and like the ratings didn't even change, and I was like,
Then that
why?
must be another probability thing. Like even after the numbers are all crunched out, there must be another roll of the dice to be able to see if it
Yeah.
hits or
I guess
something.
so.
Dude,
It will always hit. The effect of having an outstanding is dependent on your player's age and how far developed they are.
Okay.
If they're already mostly fully developed, that outstanding won't do you anything, because the dev lab's designed to work with prospects to boost the current ratings and not the potential.
Wow, I really wish I knew that because I've only put ML players into the dev lab.
which seems utterly useless.
Yeah.
Now, that works if there are both current and potential ratings. So, like fielding, I'll stick anybody in there because there's no fielding potential
Mm-hmm.
rating. You just have a set of numbers off of that.
Yeah.
So fielding will work for anybody. Velocity will work for anybody. But if you do like gap power on an already developed guy, nothing's going to happen.
Gotcha. That's really
Interesting.
good to know.
And everything too, like there are numbers behind every single stat too. Like I know we go the 5-point rating system, but like Luis Castro might be playing at 40 or 53 stuff instead of 50 stuff, but we just can't see that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Maybe. I don't know if they really split it out um, that narrowly.
I
But
know.
I think what they do is they just have a giant table and they sort of like I think this is how Stratomatic works, but it's just a giant table. You sort of roll random numbers and whatever result it lands on is the result in the game. And how that table gets filled out is based on the ratings of the players that are going up. So like Castro might have um, very few squares with walks and not a lot of squares with home runs, but also compared to like Jimmy Nash, Nash will have more of those squares filled in with strikeouts. So at the end of the day, it's just your batter and the pitcher sort of fill out this giant table, and you roll the two random numbers, and whatever number they land on is the actual result of the at bat.
Damn. So, dude, you'd be gross at OG Dungeons and Dragons. I feel like this is like all of this shit is just like goes back to a one of those what's the first computer? What is that thing called? The shit. It looks like a thing that you sift out shark teeth with, but there's like little things. It looks like a baby toy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's a computer.
Yeah.
No.
It's like a thing, and then you like move tally 1, like 2, 3. It's like a coding thing. It's I don't know. Y'all know what I'm
Comment
talking
down
about.
below if you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. Moving on to TOC. Mark, you're in the TOC right now. You just beat Miami handedly beat. And you're still gonna go out with a bang too. So you got Mexico City coming up. We're doing this recording like right after the first sim, so we already did our brackets beforehand. But are you going up again? Is this gonna be basically the TOC finals? Like I feel like these are the two best teams in the CBA right now.
I would say that.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, oh, sorry.
I might take Salt Lake over Mexico, but that's just on the base of I think if you neutralize Mexico's if you can hold Weeze and Friedland off, I think there might be a bit of fall off, and you can sort of hold them from there.
Yeah. So is there a pitcher that you're like, this matches up perfectly to Weiss and Friedland? Just throw your best guy in
Weeze, there's nothing you can do with Weeze just because of the walks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the walks sort of throw everything off there. Friedland, you can in theory throw lefties, and it's not as bad. But I mean, you just got to go in knowing those two are gonna hit well and try to neutralize everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as you can see, I have you as my TOC winner. I feel like going through everything, like we all went chalk last TOC and we failed miserably, and now we all go chalk again, and now it's like perfect. You know what I mean? Like it's just so variable. Like when I beat J-Dub's super team that he built with loans, and yours as well. Like that will happen 1 out of every 10 times. You know, like it's just shit's just random. But yeah, I have DC as I have Mark as my winner this year. I think, dude, if there's any year to do it, you got to do it this year.
What a send off that would be.
That would be.
I want it to happen.
That would be awesome. 100%. Yeah. You're gonna stay around for the TOC, right? You gotta stay around for the TOC.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, it's not like I can do anything right now.
That's true. Hey, well, honestly, if you leave beforehand, I feel like DC just will magically win. You seem like you just have a curse. But no, I think it was tough to decide between DC and Mexico. But I mean, it's the depth. I just can't handle
The
the
depth
depth.
is there
The depth is
in
everywhere.
every single part of the team.
Yes, yes. With SLC and Detroit, I guess we'll only talk about the second, third, and final rounds, or just sorry, the second and 3rd
Mhm.
rounds. But SLC over Seattle, I liked V's team, but like Greg still just has a monster.
That starting pitching is insane.
Yeah, the starting pitching is incredible. And then we almost saw Indy beat Detroit.
Yeah, that's so tough, Ryan. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's fucked. And we had Ryan on the pod. What was it, last week?
Like last week.
Yeah, last week. So he was hype about his team. So that sucks. But Joey's my other pick. I mean, it's either it is. Do we have the order right? Are you playing Mexico City or are you playing SLC?
I should play Mexico.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Good. Um, that'll be fun to watch. Do you watch all the live sims?
No,
Yeah. Yeah. It's whatever.
I had enough letdowns. I just stopped caring.
It'd be like that.
Dude, we whenever one of us is in the TOC or like a promo relegation series, we'll throw it like we'll connect our computer to the TV and we'll all watch it in the living room together.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. All right.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
So- Yeah, obviously you can see I have Dustin going back to back. I think Mexico City's hitting is really, really, really good, and I think we don't talk enough about how his pitching. Like he's 5 like aces almost with Matt Kirk now.
Yeah. Yeah.
With like, and I think the pen is a little bit where he's weaker, but the star power and the rotation is 100% there. I would not be surprised if you won, Mark, and I am rooting for you. But I guess as picks go, yeah, it's hard to not pick that Mexico City team in my opinion. But yeah, I also had SLC beating myself. I think I might be a year or two off if I can get a big signing or two. Could be cool, but his starting pitching it just is outclassed. Or yeah, my starting pitching is outclassed by his.
Yeah.
So that's what I saw the difference. I'm glad I brought it to 5 though. That's definitely better than what I thought it would. So that was cool. And then yeah, sorry.
Quick take, so like obviously in these five game series, you could have, you know, 3 guys starting and you can put your other 2 guys in the pen. Do you do that for playoff sims?
I do 4 starters.
Okay.
Because I think if you only do 3, they'll still be fatigued.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I ended up.
Do you do
doing-
5 days in between? I'm assuming.
That might be 6 days.
Oh.
Because you have 1, 2, blank, 3, 4, blank, 1 again. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'd be day 1 and 7.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Damn it. Okay, then for the 7 game series, you would still do 4 too. Okay. Okay, carry on, B.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'll just sort of talk through it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first round, I went chalk. It turned out to be chalk. Yeah, I had Mexico City over DC. I think Detroit's team is really, really good. He got a little lucky in that first round. But again, SLC starting pitching is better than Detroit, so if that carries, that carries. But overall, I think DC is the first or second best team, and Mexico City is the 1 or 2 as well. And SLC and Detroit might be like the 3 or the 4. So, like Mexico City over Detroit is chalk, but like that's sort of the logic through it.
Yeah.
So I do have Dustin repeating. I think his team is just insane.
Yeah. It's too good. All right, what you got, Mark? You got DC, Mexico City, SLC, Detroit.
I think I would just copy this.
Hey! Let's go.
Yeah, and that's what V's is too. I mean, I guess you kind of have to give yourself the jinx too. If you say Mexico City's gonna beat you, maybe. I could see it though. I mean, anything can happen with these teams, huh?
It's 5 games with good starters, you know?
Yeah, through
Happen.
Yeah, through all 4 teams have like 5 deep hella, and I think like the biggest thing I've always tried to do is just build a team like from pitching down. Like I've seen so many times where a team with lackluster, like I feel like Philly was a good example last TOC. Like his pitching just performed like really well, and then he had like the 2 guys, like 2 or 3 guys at the top of your order that are like insane, and then you can just focus on whatever the hell else, or focus on your team 5 years out. We need to remember this, and then just always have insane players like DC. But like pitching really controls the TOC, I feel like, and that's always been my big goal.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we can see it. The teams that have 5 aces on their team all go. So
yeah, and Dustin's just gonna. Is Dustin gonna be the new Mark? You think? Is there anyone?
It's gonna have to be. Like there really is no one else.
Yeah.
And just the one thing I never quite figured out is how he manages to get the pitcher's home runs per nines to drop so low relative to where they should be.
Really?
He does have like
that's
this
even
season.
accounting. That's even accounting for like the ground balls and all that. Like there's, I cannot figure out for the life of me why those home run per nines are so low.
Is this something that you've seen like just this year, or like multiple years, like every single time that he's?
It's pretty consistent.
That's kind of crazy.
Like Medina, he's a career like 0.7, 0.8, and
0.3
drops to 0.3, and maybe it's a 1-year outlier, but like,
yeah,
it's pretty consistent.
We're looking at the page now, and other than Matt Kirk, who like just came into the team, he doesn't have a pitcher that's below like the highest home runs per 9 on his roster is 0.8, and that's with everyone.
Yeah, and
he
all
plays
the rest of them
that like gives up home runs at a decent clip. So something else is going on there that I would need to look into more.
Interesting.
Wow.
And wow, his home runs overall ballpark factors 1.1. So it's like a 10% more than a regular park. But his pitchers just, I mean, he has a lot of ground ballers, but I mean, like, we've seen a lot of teams that kind of look like this. I wonder, like, comparing him to, like, Minnesota, like, do you think it would be, Minnesota's the one with the crazy pitchers, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting. Okay. Wow, so Minnesota doesn't even come close to Dustin. Huh. Hey, so that's something we got to put our nerd caps on and try to figure out.
Let's see if we can figure out the pattern before Mark can.
No shot. No shot. Well,
all 3 of the C-bus minds together still can't beat Mark.
No shot. Yeah, like wow. His pitchers are so fucking good. I mean, I guess everybody performed amazing in like other stat categories too. What does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 5. All 5 of his starting pitchers above 3 WAR. It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Medina, oh my god.
Yeah, 2.07 ERA through 165 innings this season.
That's a bit much. That's
crazy. But all right, and then do you want to? Just go.
Yeah, we went through our TOC predictions.
Oh, bet. Yeah. I was a little bit nervous about Detroit there, but
they can't see it, by the way, so you got to explain all the way.
oh, what's going on?
I don't want to redo it again.
Oh, okay.
The stream's just fucked.
We're gonna have to
Okay.
redo it for preseason predictions.
So should I go through my whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. DC and Miami. Pick DC.
Well, just after the first round.
Oh, okay. So we did the first round. So I had DC matched up with Mexico City, and I picked Mexico City to beat DC. I think I just think it's right now we're seeing Dustin in his prime, and I just think this team is the best team in the CBA. So, and then on the lower end of the bracket, the Sea Serpents, which did not.
No.
Sorry about that, V. But I do have Detroit winning that game anyway, so I don't know. It's like this like randomness of Detroit heating up at the end of the season. I just feel like the sim, the coding, whatever. It's just
The squares.
Detroit is. I think he's just poised, and I have Detroit. Should I keep going?
Yeah, you can go.
And then I have Detroit winning the whole thing, beating Mexico City. I don't know. Again, he just had a really late stretch where I remember when I made the TOC back in like 2071, the good old days. But I remember I had a similar stretch of Detroit where I was like fifth the whole season, and then my team caught fire. And even though I lost the TOC, I lost it in 7 games, and I guess I was just using that as to like, I don't know, he's getting hot at the right time. So I think Joey will pull it out and win the TOC.
Wow.
Yeah.
He needs. Yeah. I feel like he's got the team to do it, and
Yeah.
he has for the past like 2 years.
Yeah.
And he will continue to. Like, I feel like Joey's a perfect example of what Mark was talking about earlier. Like, he started his rebuild. Like, he started knocking everything down when I came into the league. So, like, 76, 77 or so. Because I remember, like, trading him guys and then him just instantly tearing it down, like, right after. But, like, we see his team now. He has a monster. And his pitching. Like, the Pennington and Arnold duo. Holsopple, one of the best.
Well, he
relievers
also
in the game.
loaned out my guy, the closer, John Morales. He has Morales now as his setup.
Oh wow!
So yeah, his pitching is off the charts. And I mean, not to sound corny, but the hitting is too. Like, it's a really good team, and I think there's some randomness obviously that goes into it too. So I didn't want to just go like straight chalk, and I don't know. I think Joey will get it done.
I mean, this is really cool though. I mean, we all have different winners.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, bro went on a 10-game heater at the end of the year, and now he's. You know what he did? He probably got those fucking torpedo bats that the Yankees are using. They just got that in.
Yeah, well, now that we have DC, Detroit, and Mexico City winning, Greg, congrats on your TOC.
Yeah, facts though. Imagine, dude. Does Greg have 3 or 2?
3.
Wow, Greg would set himself apart from the rest. Of, like, Duncan has 3, right?
Is this a Mickey Mouse TOC
Wait,
though?
how many?
The past 2
It's a bit Mickey.
The past 2 TOC winners would be GMs who got their team that season.
Yeah, it would be. It would have been Otto and J Dubs.
And I call taking over DC, so I'll win it next.
Oh my God! Who's
I was gonna
gonna
ask
get
about that.
DC?
Do you have anyone in mind, Mark?
Not my problem.
Fair enough.
I wanna. Dude, I feel like it should just be headless. I wanna see, like, give it to give it to Otto. Who's that Otto dude that Greg always talks about? OTTO. He's not talking about like Otto, right? Like past SLC.
Oh, Otto.
Is it some
yeah.
like
oh,
fictional?
yeah.
He was in the league. I think,
Yeah.
when
Oh,
I was
this is
in the
a
league at
real
some point,
dude.
yeah.
Oh, okay, dude.
I think it was Will way back in the day.
Mm.
Huh. Okay.
shoot, Kentucky, probably like early 2050s. This was back when the President's Cup was at the beginning of the year, and it was a one-game single.
Ooh.
Oh wait, no, did he have one? I think he might have won a championship. It was one of those tournaments, but anyway, he didn't export for the entire thing, and he won. So it just became the joke afterward.
That's so funny. Imagine if that was that wouldn't happen with that wouldn't happen nowadays. I feel like that's like, well, I guess with P Cup anything could happen.
Honestly, I think I would be in favor of not giving DC to like a real person for like the first 2 years.
Yeah, well, yeah, like
we'll just
Do you
let
think-
DC run for like couple of years, and once he starts going to like instead of first, like third in the PL.
Yeah, but that's no fun. I mean, it's not fun to have a team that's
Yeah,
not
I guess so.
managed. I mean,
That's
We
true.
should-
You can't trade for anyone.
you know, we should give it. That would be hilarious.
I mean,
cut that part out.
he's gonna be like, yeah.
This team is legitimately set up to autopilot for the next 3 years.
It is.
You don't have to touch a thing.
Yeah.
Because like I got everybody extended. That like Gilmore, you guys haven't even seen the extension on him yet. Like, this team is legitimately on autopilot for 3-4 years.
Oh my god,
What?
he got Gilmore.
You got him for a 1.5. Gee, you must have done this like right after you got him for me, no?
That was a large part of why I traded for him.
Because you knew he was gonna be cheap because he played like shit, but now you're like,
I knew I could get him cheap. Yep.
yeah, yeah,
And
dude.
it had to happen right after I traded him because I knew if I gave him a year, it wasn't gonna happen anymore.
Yeah, dude. I knew he was gonna be so
Dude,
good.
he's only 24 too.
See, and I was asking for a first, and everyone was clowning on me. I'm like, psh, he's got that value, but like, how am I gonna? I wonder how much would you have paid for him?
Probably the same amount
Yeah,
because he's not gonna be a 5-war player going forward.
that's true. He'll probably be like a 2-3 war guy. Like if you can get 2-3
Yeah.
war.
I mean, if he keeps a 70 range though, I think he'll be solid.
He's
but
24,
yeah, he's young.
dude. Wow, so he came in the league when he was like 19. He might be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he has to put up some
But,
crazy
yeah, like-
seasons.
Yeah,
I don't sign him right when I trade him. He's asking for 25-30 next year.
yeah.
So just gotta pounce on it when the time comes.
Yeah.
See, hey, so that's another thing. Everyone, look at players who are performing a lot worse than their ratings. Go get them and sign them to a mega deal, and then
it's a good strat.
yeah. That's what I did with Stidler, but like Stidler is no John Gilmore, unfortunately. But
I mean, I got everybody. I got who did I get? Bobby Williams is on a good one.
Bobby Williams,
I would say Castro's
Wade
on an
is on a
amazing
really good
contract
one.
too.
dude, you have Pat Rhodes at 1.4. Oh, I guess okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's a good contract. John Lord, dude, what happened to John Lord? Like, what? Why is he? I thought he was gonna be a starter. Like, what's wrong with him?
He doesn't have the pitches to be a starter.
Interesting. So they're just not high enough, or like, you don't like the
The
fastball changeup
game-
sinker.
Yeah, the game will penalize him because the pitches aren't good enough.
Huh. So why is Mike Mendez like that too, or does Mike
He
Mendez
is.
have like?
But they can't see it.
Yeah, I know, it's fine. Like Mike Mendez has played
Same idea.
insane. How is that? Because the stamina or what? I don't understand.
Maybe this is still left over from old versions, and I just haven't changed. But like, I think that used to be a thing, so
Okay.
maybe not anymore.
Mm-hmm. And he's got the stamina too, so I guess that's like
I mean, look at the amount of innings he's pitching these past few years.
178 is crazy. Like 170s every single year is just absurd.
He's averaging 99 pitches per game.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I guess when you're not throwing like you're throwing 93, 95, and you just got crazy spin. But I mean, I guess that's how people throw out their arms, like throwing hard and with like a lot of rotation and shit. But hey, bro, Mike Mendez is an anomaly. You heard it from Mark. You heard it. You guys got anything else?
Well, we got the preseason. We have to go over.
Oh, could we could save that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
like I don't trust my computer right now. I don't know
Okay.
why it's being so stupid. But yeah, apologize to the viewers. I know you guys haven't been able to see stuff, but I didn't want to stop the episode again. We've been doing it for every like 5 minutes, like trying to get the fucking shit to work. Mark, closing remarks, like any message to the league, or I don't know, like closing thoughts of your time in the CBA, like this. Of course, I'm sure you're gonna come out with something in general. And we appreciate that we could break the news on the pod, which is kind of sick, but also sad. But yeah, I'll let you have your piece.
I mean, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it, but it's time to move on.
Mm-hmm.
So
We'll miss you, man. I hope you stay in the chat or something like Scott does. I'd
Yeah.
love to hear from you every so often.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Fair enough.
definitely, it seems like it's definitely one of those things that needs to be like a hard reset. You know what I mean? And especially like if you have future interest in playing OTP, like getting into a league again, like you got to get like hard reset. But it would be funny for you to just like go into a league that's like mid as fuck and then just like run the
I was
shit.
gonna say, are you gonna join any other leagues, or maybe take just a break as a whole from the game?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take a break for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I've been doing it for so long. It's just not all that fun anymore.
Dude,
You've mastered the game.
are there any money leagues in OTP?
Yeah, but I don't put money on stuff like this.
Okay. But wouldn't that be insane, dude?
That'd be crazy.
You would be the Wayne Gretzky of OTP if you were in like a like I feel like it's like poker stars or some shit. You would be like a celebrity. That'd be insane. you've I guess it would be hard for you to talk on, but like you've got to be the best CBA or best OTP player of all time. Like, is this measurable at all? I'm gassing, bro.
So you guys 2018
Uh-huh.
challenge mode and single player used to have leaderboards,
Ooh.
and I think I got up to like 5th or 6th on that,
Oh my god.
Wow.
Damn.
That's crazy.
and that was 6 years ago before I really started digging into it more. So who knows?
No, we
Wow.
have the Wayne Gretzky of OTP
OTP.
on the pod.
Dude,
That's
this
crazy.
is literally like when LeBron's retiring, dude.
Oh my god. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I got some more stories for you after if you want to hear them.
Oh fuck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys. It's been great. Sorry to hear Mark's leaving.
Yeah,
but-
Mark, really sad to see you go, man. Like, I know I talked about you quite a bit on the pod, but I always looked at your dominance as something to try to mirror. And so for you to leave, like, I totally understand why, but yeah, I'm just sad because I feel like
my idol.
honestly,
Yeah.
no, honestly, I feel like I always was like very adamant on looking at your sims and trying to figure out, just trying to learn how you do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really appreciated, you know, your time in the league and your time as commissioner. I know that's a huge responsibility to have. So, again, like Mike said, I hope you stay in the chat. But I understand wanting to take a break from it. But
Yeah, and when we have like OTP disagreements like within the Cebus house, if you pull out the Mark does it this way card, you like automatically win.
yeah, no, seriously.
It is kind of crazy how much of these, like, how much we talk about these people and they don't even like know us. That is crazy. But thank you guys. I hope y'all have a great night.